All right, so I guess I've been jamming at this for a bit, and I was going to give it a rest, but then I decided, well, why don't I just put the equator line on with this campfire red hot coals kind of campfire thing, and there it is. So I was like, all right, well, let's stop there because, I've had enough for this week, and, I'm completely blown away. But then I decided, well, why don't I take a look. Actually, I didn't start there. Where did I start? I was checking this line here. I started here. I was like, well, let's do this. Um, so this is oriented up north, north of the top. This line here, I put a line right here. It starts and ends here, and it goes right through these purple lines, crisscross from these points here, and they are perfectly the same length. This diamond pattern of like forest green or whatever it is, like sagey green, is kind of a perfect pattern of a diamond. These two lengths here are different, but the intersection that goes through the center of those two purple lines and the diamonds goes all the way through. This I haven't aligned yet, this point T and U here, that might align to it or not. What it does do is it comes up to this point where the, how do I put it? This is pretty massive. The equilateral triangle point hits here that's coming through the equator. But then it comes up and around through Hawaii. So this is kind of neat too, because it's like, yeah, I mean, that wasn't the actual picture that I was looking at before. I might have been looking at that one maybe. The lines have shifted a little bit, so, I guess we'll go with that one there. And that makes more sense, but, we'll see. So basically what happens is that comes in and takes the equilateral triangle that comes off of the Bering Straits here, and also this other point that, here's Hawaii, right? That's dividing that triangle in half. And so I did that by running and checking with this pink line on top here. And it turns out from this point, which is a center point for one of the dodecahedron faces, or planes, basically this side right here, that includes Hawaii in it. And on this side, we have California and all, right? So, and West Coast. And so what I posit, though, is that from Meadow House over here at the top in the right here, down to here, and from Machu Picchu down here up to there, this potentially was where the Mu Observatory was, of a continent that is now submerged from the last ice age glacier melt. So that line continues on, divides the triangle, equilateral triangle that's coming off of Meadow House in half as well, and continues on where, let me just rotate this to the north again, and I'll just drag it down this way, where it comes down across the Atlantic. Actually, I didn't even check in and see, where it's related to in the Azores, of course. Yeah, let's see, there's a picture here, and it just says Atlantica, but it isn't necessarily, I don't know if it's hitting landmass in a way that I can get on this screen right now. Oops. There's definitely, where are we at? Oh, there we are. Okay, so yeah, that's going to keep going further south down this way. And there we have some of that. I've taken some pictures of this. Comes right across Africa, the Western Cape. Comes down to South Africa. Comes down through, and I don't know, maybe it passed through here and things have changed, but, maybe not. So that's where lots of study to, keep going on. But I had it at one point, it was passing through here, line has shifted a little bit, so it might have come down further to South Africa and come across that point to here. It's a very long stretch, so it definitely is very fussy when working with it on Google Earth as far as lines and magnetics and all of that stuff. So, but it is kind of interesting to be seeing all of those lines in relationship to each other, because it almost does the sine wave around the Earth, and you could kind of see it's almost an inverse pattern to the equator line. I'm not saying that's exactly what's going on there, but it has that vibe to it, and it passes through all of these funky little portals of remainder and pivot angles, and it makes it a really kind of interesting thing that you know, probably could pick up a lot of measurements on that stuff and figure out how the motion of all of the plates, tectonics, our sky, all of it was doing its stuff. So how did we get to know all of the knowledge that we have? Well, it took a lot of hard work, and I can see that. So hopefully others do as well, and I hope everyone's well. Peace.